What's happening, YouTube?
Three, two, one,
Um,
go.
okay, I'm sitting with my partner from Endless Yoga, and we are both sitting in something called the garden pose. And so, briefly, I'm sitting in deep, so I'm arching my back, my glutes are getting a stretch. Look at my elbows, they're pushing my knees apart. I'm pushing my wrists down, so I'm getting a stretch there. I'm getting a stretch in the groin area, hamstrings, knees, and this is a freaking incredible stretch for a person like me who exercises a lot. And so, okay, so we're into Don't Diet, Fix the Programming number 9. And so the topic is the reward and punishment system. And so this is going to be an amazing chat. Now, I want to go back to some of the programming. And one aspect is mom, right? She yells, "Dinner's ready." And so, as a child, first I take a long time because she has to say dinner's ready about 5 times before I finally sit at the dinner table. I didn't run to eat. And so, I sit down and I do anything to not eat. So I will push the rice aside and push the beans aside and try to make it look like I ate all my food. And dad will come with his belt and say, "Eat all your food." So look at the programming right there. Number 1, it's dinner time programming. Number 2, eat all your food with dad with the belt to make sure that I eat all my food, because people are starving in the world. You're so lucky to be eating. And so you should eat all your food. That's programming. And now, one day, I eat all my food. And mom goes, "Wow!" And she claps for me. And I go, she goes, "Good boy." And then she calls over the rest of the family. "Look, Albert ate all his food." And they'll go, "Wow, man, that's incredible." And I go, "Wow." The reward and punishment system kicking in right there, baby. And so now what's happening? I'm feeling good now. I ate all my food. And so I remember consciously making sure that now I'm going to eat all my food, because it felt so good for my surroundings to tell me, "Wow, man, you ate all your food. That's good. Hey, you want some more?" And so this here developed into me eating 2 plates up to 3 plates for the reward. Look at what I'm getting now. I'm not going to pass on just eating a little bit and pass on that reward I'm getting from everyone. And so Thanksgiving came around and I ate 3 plates guaranteed. Sometimes 4 because I wanted to upgrade the mark. And so I would eat 2 plates, and I would eat fast too. By this time I'm eating fast. And my mom would go, "Chacho," which in Spanish means damn. And so I would bring plate number 3 so she can fill up that one too. And she had no problem. I was still skinny. But look at the pattern that was established. The pattern was established. 1, dinner time. 2, eat all your food. 3, you get a reward now for eating all your food. And so this reward and punishment here is responsible for me gaining all this weight later on, because what happened is that I kept maintaining that system. I kept maintaining that programming. And so now we go to restaurants now. The restaurant is not so good. The service is not so good. And so the punishment is that we're not going to tip this waitress, even though she didn't cook the food. No, the whole restaurant must pay for it. And so now we punish them by not leaving a tip. And that's the system. That's the system that still is out there. which I don't play any part of it whatsoever, because for me, I can't afford to live in that system of punishing whether the food is good or bad, only because I punished myself enough with all the excess weight that I gained and all the hospital bills and the health problems that led me to needing this and needing that. I spent so much freaking money. I can't afford to go to a restaurant and complain. And so around 7 years ago, I had to really take a look at what was going on with my diet, because I saw clearly that the diet fads, they weren't working. It was this game I was playing, from one diet fad to another diet fad, trying this. And I also adopted the diet fad as another type of conditioning, where I would feel smart talking about all these diet fads, and I would give advice about all these diet fads, because it became part of the spiel to now talk, diets and all that stuff. And so when I looked at the reality of how much I yo-yo dieted and how much I got sick from eating, I had to look at things differently, which is the reason why I'm here, sitting in the garden pose, talking about don't diet, fix the programming. The programming is where the problem stemmed from. And so here I am now, feeling good about reward and punishment and living in that system. And now I had to pop out of that system. Because I had to. The same way I had to pop out of the system of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I was going along with that type of programming. And so, like I said in many other videos already, that when dinner time came around, most of the time I'm not hungry because I have breakfast and lunch. But what I would do is that I would force the food anyway because it was dinner time, and that's programming. There's hardly anyone out there saying, do you eat accordingly? Do you eat according to what your body's asking for? Have you ever sat down and took just 2 bites of something and felt good and walked off? Or did you eat all your food because you're so used to it that you just did it and now you're holding in your breath? You ate too much. And it's like, especially by the time that I gained so much weight, and now I'm eating anyway because it's dinner time, and now I'm like, I ate so much, tomorrow I'm going to eat salad. That's where the danger comes in. Because there's nothing wrong with eating really good. And for a normal person, or by all means, if you go to a restaurant and you're not satisfied with it, then do whatever you got to do. But I'm not that normal person. I'm a person that hurt myself through excess eating. And so I can't afford to live along with these, programmed systems, because those programmed systems worked against me. And so I'm trying to look at all these programmings, which I touched on so many different aspects. And this aspect here is to trash the reward and punishment system. Doesn't make any sense to me to walk into a restaurant, walk out pissed off, saying I'm never going to go back there again. And sometimes I walked out of a restaurant pissed off, and to satisfy me, to satisfy the programming, not me, I will go to another restaurant and then get a satiating meal, a pleasant meal, and go, no, that is better. Now look at what I just did. I ate twice. I ate more than I needed to, and now I'm gaining weight, which the gaining weight was going to cause problems. And look what I did, all for the satisfaction. And so I'm sitting here now. I have to bust all those balloons. I just watched a video from some doctor talking about all these calculations, and if you're obese, you do this, you take this much of protein, and that the amino acid content, and and I'm like, does he know who he's talking to? We're putting all these mechanical calculations, and we're making calculations of the amount of protein that I, as an individual, may need or may not need. How can that be calculated? It makes no sense. Because if I'm constantly running around, I'm going to need more fuel. If I don't run around as much as someone else, they're going to need more fuel than me. And so that I won't have to eat that much. I won't need to eat that much. And so these calculations of you need this type of protein, and then you need the carbs of this and this much of that and that much of that, I think it's such a fluff. And if I just take a quick observation, it's not working. There's more and more people walking out there with excess fat, and we're blaming genetics, and we're saying, oh, it's this, is that, and then what we're doing is we're talking, and not one source that I've come across that said, have you ever thought of when it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock to see how you feel? Because if you're full of energy, should you eat dinner because it's dinner time? And should you feel rewarded for it if you eat all your food? Or you ate just a little bit because you were fine and you walked off. Now you're free from problems, from health problems, because you're at your ideal weight. There's more energy because I won't have to eat and then go to sleep. So I won't have to deal with all those things. And so what's the trade-off here? For me to eat and get satiated and go, oh, it's dinner time. Yummy. That was so good. Or eat accordingly. I picked to eat accordingly. I picked to not follow the system of breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, snacks. I choose to eat based on my body's dictate. It says, yo, man, you're feeling kind of weak there, buddy. You're dragging or you're mentally foggy. Eat something. Okay, have something and see how you feel. Yesterday I ate so much that today, and because yesterday was the top of the month, and at the top of the month I go out there, man, I have my fun with foods. I freaking have a delight in all kinds of foods, and I did. I had a freaking awesome hamburger yesterday, and I plan to extend it and go out and have pasta, but you know what? I just wasn't hungry. And so I nibbled around, and it's 4 o'clock now, and I'm like, I'm not freaking hungry, so I'm not gonna eat. Because I'm full of freaking energy. I haven't worked out in 3 days, so all that energy is bottled up. And so, look, I'm not gonna freaking eat. I'm not gonna go, oh, well, it's dinner time. And so I'm out of that system. I'm watching the programming. I'm busting all the programming balloons one by one. And I've done this. I have yet to look at a receipt in maybe 20 years. I'm not going to look at a receipt to nickel and dime. Oh, I had this and you had that, and I had this and you had that. I mean, I understand if people need to do that, if they're tight. But the way we waste food and throw food away and order all these dishes, and we're willing to pay for it if we ordered it, I'm not going to freaking nickel and dime over receipt. So I haven't looked at a receipt in maybe 20 years. And I haven't walked out of a restaurant pissed off in a long time. Maybe I may feel a little, they overcook something. I may go, but I don't sweat it. I'm not going to go, oh, I ain't going there no more, and then be angry at them, which means now they get punished because the punishment comes from the programming. And so then I follow suit and I follow the program and I go, well, I didn't like that place, so I'm not going anymore. There's places that made mistakes and everything like that. I go back. Because you know what, man? I don't know the freaking cook back there, what's going on. It's not the waitress' fault. It's not the restaurant's fault. And so this punishment and reward system is out of my life, and that's what I wanted to present today. And that's my chat for today. And until, don't diet, fix the programming number 10. Until that one, catch ya!